All right, good morning. Welcome to our Hatha Flow. This is the last class of 2020 that I'm teaching. So it's also a milestone class. We are heading into the new year soon. So today we'll really focus on harnessing all of those feelings within of getting things going again, but at the same time we're going to come home to our bodies. That's what my theme has been this week, home. And so I want to start off 2021 with a feeling of being at home in our bodies, being at home base, so that from this place we can jump off and be ready for whatever the new year brings us. So we're going to start today lying down on our mats. Make sure you have any props that you might need nearby. There's nothing in specific that we need today. Actually, I'll take that back. It would be useful to have a strap. Or so you could also use a tea towel or a belt of some sort, a necktie, but anything that's long. And so that's the one thing that might be more useful today. Other than that, you can have blocks nearby, cushions, folded blankets, folded towels, anything to pad your knees when they come down onto the earth. And we'll get ready. So once we get to our mats, we'll come onto our back and recalibrate here. So that might mean for you keeping the knees bent, knees coming in towards each other. It might mean that you can stretch those legs out on your floor, but wherever you can find a nice comfortable position. And we can close our eyes and let those layers settle. As you lay here, start to feel the outer casing of your body. Feeling the air on the skin from head to toe. Feeling the support of the earth underneath you. And the effect of the breath within you. As we lay here, we can tap into the familiarity of how the body feels. Our bodies. As always, we set the intention of moving within our range of motion, of being mindful of pain, of dizziness, of lightheadedness, and making sure that even though at some points we may feel discomfort, we reset if that discomfort becomes pinching, shooting, sharp, numbness or tingling, anything that feels like it's not creating more within your body. As I mentioned, the theme is home. So even though we'll be harnessing our inner motivation, our drive as we march into the new year, we'll keep coming back home, coming back to our center. Keep checking in and recharging at home base. And that's how we'll keep ourselves balanced. That's how we'll keep ourselves safe. And that's how we'll keep ourselves moving from an integrated place. Bring the arms up overhead. Give yourself a nice big stretch. Yawn if you need to. Take the right wrist with the left hand and banana over to the left, getting a nice lengthening from right fingertips all the way down through the right side of the body. And then other way, take that left wrist and banana over to the right. And then back to center again. Draw those knees in to give yourself a big hug. And check in with the hips, with the low back, the mid back, the upper back. We're going to keep that right leg in and stretch the left leg out along the mat. And with the breath, every inhale will pull that knee in. Every exhale will let it come away from us a little. Let's do 3 more like that. Gently rocking through the pelvis. Beautiful. And then switch legs. Left knee comes in, right leg comes out along the mat. As we inhale, we draw it in. As we exhale, we let it melt away. 3 more like that. Beautiful. And then we'll bring both in again. Press them away so that they become perpendicular to the floor. So the thigh is perpendicular to the floor and that lower leg is forming a tabletop. And then we're going to bring the arms out to the side in a cactus pose. And we're going to just very subtly start to work on the core, everything 360 degrees around the midsection. As we inhale, we're going to come to neutral. So there's a gentle curve in the lower back. As we exhale, we're going to press that low back into the earth by drawing the belly button and the lower abdomen in. And inhale, exhale, press. And just continue this. It's a very subtle movement. There's a slight tip that happens in the pelvis. But as you can see, there's visibly very little movement. If you'd like, you could always do this with legs straight up as well. We're activating the core and coming back home to a neutral position. Let's do 3 more. Beautiful. Come back to that tabletop position. And then keeping the pelvis neutral now, so the lower back doesn't need to be pressed into the earth, but we want to contain this entire area. And then we're going to start tapping the toes alternately on the floor. So right foot's going to come down and we exhale, bring it back up. Inhale, left toe taps and up. Let's continue this. Keep the waist long. Keep those ribs contained. We should be starting to feel some work happening in keeping that center part of our bodies engaged, full of integrity. Beautiful. We're going to do 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. And now side to side, bringing the knees over to the right, but don't touch the earth. Exhale back to center. And let's continue that. So twisting out to your range of motion. As we keep going, you may be able to go deeper and deeper into that twist, using that strong core to draw the legs back up to home base. Nice work. Let's do 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And now let's bring those knees all the way over to the right. Let them hit the earth this time. Look over your left shoulder and twist. Come back to center. Let the knees tip over to the left. Look over the right shoulder and twist. And back to center. You can reset here. Bring the feet to the floor. Maybe windshield wiper a little bit. We're going to do one more core activation here right at the beginning of the class so that we feel like we're starting from a strong base. Bringing those legs back up to that tabletop position. We're going to keep the right leg there. Left foot comes down to the earth, and we take the hands on the right thigh, and we start to push that right thigh away while we're trying to keep that right thigh pulling in and staying exactly where it is. So we press, and we press, and we press for 4, 3, 2, 1, and return to center. Left thigh stays up, right foot comes down, and let's press that one away. So we're pressing the left thigh away while trying to keep it exactly where it is without shrinking the sides of the waist. Press, press. Keep the lower abdomen drawing down, the ribs drawing down. And release. Hug the knees in for a moment. This time you can repeat that one, or instead have that left leg out on an angle in front of you. We're pressing that right thigh away. Press. Keep that lower abdomen in. You should be shaking. Keep the pelvis neutral and release. And then the other side, reach the right leg out or bring the right foot to the floor, and let's press that left thigh away. Press. Keep that pelvis neutral. Press. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Press. Keep the jaw soft. And release. Nice work. And then rock it out a little bit. Last thing here, this time both legs are going to be pressed away with our strong arms, and we're going to be drawing them in. Ready? Let's go. Press them away, press them away. Feel that entire front body activate to keep those knees in, to draw that abdomen down, to draw the ribs down towards the pelvis. 2, 1, and release. Hug it in. Beautiful. And rock side to side. Nice work. We're going to rock and roll up to seated and come over onto hands and knees. Reset here. Find neutral through your pelvis. Find grounding in the hands and the knees. And let's do 5 cats and cows to the tune of your breath. Inhaling, opening front body, and exhaling, opening back body. Beautiful. After that last one, we're going to come back to neutral, come down onto the elbows and just awaken the hips. So bring up that right leg and let's do 4 big circles with the right knee in each direction. Stay mindful of the core. Keep drawing those ribs down towards the pelvis. Keep that lower abdomen active and just wake up that hip. Let's go the other direction. Finding big circles, moving right from the very root of that hip, activating the muscles 360 degrees around the hip joint. Nice, and release that. Let's go to the other side. Left leg comes up, and we do 4 big circles in each direction here. Nice. And other direction. Feel the glutes working, feel the lateral hip working. Nice. And release. Plant the hands down on the floor, curl the toes under, walk the knees back slightly, and come up into your first downward facing dog. Letting the head and the neck just let go, pressing into every single fingertip, every single knuckle, lengthening the sit bones back, 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 and up behind you. And perhaps your knees are bent, perhaps they're straight. You may be on your toes. Your heels may be coming down towards the earth. Beautiful. Start to walk to the front of the mat. Coming into a forward fold, bending the knees as much as you need for this first forward fold and all subsequent forward folds after this. Just really being mindful of that low back. Yes, our hamstrings can be tight, and the tighter they are, the more strain they may be pulling as we're in this forward fold position. So just move again within your range of motion, your pain-free range of motion. Let that head and neck hang here. And slowly start to come all the way up to standing, pressing into those feet and rising. Feeling tall and strong. Tadasana, we're back home in a standing home. Let's inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, fold forward. We'll do that 2 more times, linking breath to movement, reaching up, lengthening. Exhale, fold. And 1 more. Diving forward. And the next inhalation, hands come to shins or thighs, and we come into Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold, and release. 2 more of those. And let go. And fold. Nice. Fingertips come to the earth, and we step the left leg back into our first low lunge, bringing that left knee to a pad, to a folded blanket, to a folded mat, or to the earth. And then we're going to press ourselves up into our low lunge. Draw those legs towards each other to activate that inner line of the legs, and then let the pelvis move forward and down. Never bending that front knee over 90 degrees past that ankle, so lengthening the stance if needed. And just feel that first lunge in your body. Beautiful. If you'd like to take it further, bring that left arm up to the sky and really feel that length from left fingertips down through the left side of the body, in front of the left hip, all the way down that leg. If you'd like to go further, still you can take the right hand and draw the left arm even longer, maybe even banana to the right. Draw yourself back up to center, release the hands, and step back into a plank pose. Remembering that plank can be on hands and feet, on elbows and knees, or anything in between. Every inhalation, you power up, pressing into the earth. Every exhalation, everything draws into the center of the body, especially those ribs, especially that lower abdomen. Beautiful. Let's do 2 more breaths here. Nice. And then come down onto the knees. 3 shoulder flows. Exhaling, coming back, hips towards heels. Inhaling, dragging the nose forward, elbows out to the side, and press back up. 2 more of those. Keep the hips high. Keep that nose low to the ground. And then after that last one, come all the way to the abdomen. Flip the feet over, tops of the feet on the floor. And 4 times, no hands, elbows in. We inhale, pick that heart up off the floor and come back down. Baby cobra flow, inhale and exhale. Keep the thighs on the floor. Connect to the back chain of muscles along your spine. Beautiful. Last one, hold it up there. Imagining you can lengthen from head to tail. Every inhalation makes you longer. Every exhalation settles you in back to the center line. And then hands come to the earth. And we press back into our recovery pose, whether that's down dog, puppy, or child's. Beautiful. Now you have the option to come down onto elbows and knees again, or stay up here in down dog. We're going to wake up those hips again. This time starting with the left leg. Bend the left knee, bring that left leg up, and 4 circles in each direction again. A little trickier in down dog as we keep those arms strong and keep those hips pressing back, and then the other direction. And release the left. Do whatever you need to between sides. And we go to the right. Right leg comes up, right knee bends. 4 big circles in each direction. And switch directions. Beautiful. Release that. And left foot steps forward between the hands. 1, 2, or many steps. Right knee comes to the earth. We prepare for our low lunge on this side, pressing ourselves up, drawing those legs towards each other, and then letting the hips come forward and down while maintaining that integrity between the front and back leg. Low lunge. You can stay here, or right arm comes up, really feeling that length from fingertip to knee. And again, always the option to draw that right wrist towards the left, making a curve with your body. Return to center. Release the hands down, pick up that back knee, and step forward to forward fold. Release here. And bend the knees nice and deep, coming into our first chair pose. Lots of weight in the heels, sitting those sit bones back behind you, peeling the upper body up off the thighs until it comes to the angle in which you can stay connected to that core and to the breath. Sit deeper, hands at the heart, maybe out in front, maybe reaching out as an extension of that upper body. 2 more deep breaths here. And inhale all the way up. Exhale, fold. Look up halfway, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Step the right leg back behind you. This time we spin that right heel down to the earth and come up into our warrior 2 already here. The inhalation presses into both feet, strengthens both legs. The exhalation brings you a little deeper into the pose and draws everything into the midline. Beautiful. Reach those arms out like wings. Gaze to the front hand. Warrior 2. We're going to do a little bit of side to side movement. So inhaling, reaching forward, exhaling, reaching back. You could start to add shoulder rotation, but get that waist involved. Get the shoulders involved. Keep the legs as your strong home base. One more time in each direction. Beautiful, and come back to center. Bend the arms to cactus pose. This time coming up and down. Inhaling, pressing up, extending that front leg. Exhaling, drawing the elbows back down. Let's do 3 more. Last one. Beautiful. And then hands come behind you, either holding on to the elbows, the forearms, or the wrists, or maybe even interlacing the fingers behind the back. We get nice and tall. Then we're going to fold diagonally towards the inside edge of that left leg. Maybe the arms come up and over. We release to the head and the neck. Humble warrior. You could always bring the hands out in front for supported humble warrior as well. And then walk the hands to frame that front foot, spin onto the back toes, step back into your plank pose. Hold here for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. 3 shoulder flows again. Exhaling, drawing those hips back. Inhaling, slithering forward. Nestle those arm bones into the shoulder sockets as you pull yourself forward. And then come all the way down to the abdomen again. Stretch the legs out behind you, tops of the feet on the floor. This time, hands on the earth. Draw those elbows in towards the midline. Roll the shoulders back and down. And 4 times, baby cobra flow with the hands on the earth. Inhale, drawing the hands towards you as you lift. Exhale, release. 3 more. Last one. Hold it here. Maybe pressing a little bit more into the hands. And then release all the way down. Your recovery pose, down dog, child, or puppy. Beautiful. Right foot's going to step forward. And this time, left foot spins to the earth. Heel to arch or heel to heel alignment. And we come all the way up into our warrior 2. Inhalations, press out through the feet. Activate the legs. Exhalations, bring you a little closer to the earth. Reach those arms out like wings. Gaze to that front hand. Beautiful. We start to move the upper body now. Inhaling, reaching forward, and exhaling, reaching back. And maybe bringing some shoulder rotation into it. Internally and externally rotating the shoulders. Beautiful. One more. Coming back to neutral, bend those arms to cactus. Inhale, press into the front foot, straighten that front leg, straighten the arms. Exhale, back down. 3 more of those. Last one. Beautiful. And then either taking elbows, forearms, or wrists behind you, or interlacing the fingers, opening that front body, and then on the exhale, diving to the inner edge of that right leg, letting the head and neck go, drawing those elbows or arms up over above you, or coming into a supported humble warrior. Beautiful. Walk the hands to frame the front foot, spin up on those back toes and step forward to your forward fold. Release. Bend the knees deep. Utkatasana, chair pose. Sitting those hips back, peeling that torso up, and choosing your arm position for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Stand all the way up and dive all the way forward. Look up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, fingertips on the ground, left foot steps back. And bring that left knee to the earth. We're going to come up into our low lunge again. And you can either stay here, you can stay here with that left arm reaching, or you can come with me into a twist, holding that right hip back. We start to reach the left arm forward. When we're on that diagonal angle, left elbow comes to the outer edge of the right knee or thigh. And then the hands can come to a prayer position. Elbows pointing in opposite directions. You could stay here, gazing at that front foot for stability, or start to press into the hands as you twist around that midline. Let the breath massage your inner organs. If you're feeling very stable here, you may even start to pick up that back knee, straightening into that twisted lunge. Beautiful. Look back down on the floor, release the hands, step back into your plank pose. Come all the way to the earth. Peel your heart off the floor and come into your version of Bhujangasana Cobra. And then all the way down and back to your recovery pose. Puppy, down dog, or even child's. A little more core work here from either hands and knees or down dog. Gonna bring that right leg up behind you. And as you exhale, knees going to come in towards the nose. And we reach it back. So on hands and knees, it'll look the same. Knee drawing in and reaching it back. And now we're going to draw it over to the left arm. See if you can tap that left tricep and reach it back. And now the right arm, the outside edge of the tricep, and reach it back. Beautiful. One more time in each direction. Nose, left, and right. Release that leg. Do whatever you need to do between sides. Reset. And left leg comes up. Exhale, knee to nose. And reach it back. Knee to right, tricep. And reach it back. Knee to left, tricep. And reach it back. One more time in each direction. Nose. Right. And left. And then that left foot will step between the hands. Right knee comes down to the earth. We come up to our low lunge. We stay here or reach that right arm up. We stay here or start to hinge forward, keeping that left hip back. Bend that right elbow, bring it to the outer edge of that left leg. And prayer pose. Look down at the left foot for stability. And then maybe start to press those hands towards each other as you twist. Maybe that back knee can come up off the floor. And breathe into that twisted lunge, that torso. And then release the hands down. Step forward to your forward fold. And release. Bend the knees deep. Last chair pose. Come all the way up. For 4. For 3. For 2. And 1. Come all the way. And exhale, fold forward. Look up, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fingertips down, step that right leg back. Bring the right knee to the earth. And we're gonna flow back into Ardha Hanuman half splits pose. So hip above that back knee. Front leg extended, toes drawing up towards the nose. Get nice and tall, long through the spine. And let the breath lead you. Every inhalation getting longer through the torso, putting a little muscle energy into that. Every exhale, possibly walking yourself forward and melting over that front leg. And then we're going to bring a little bit of a something to this stretch. Walk both hands on the outer edge of that left leg. And maybe walk them away from you. Diving slightly diagonally across. Come back to center. Bend through that left knee, step back to your plank, optional vinyasa here, or you can meet us in recovery pose. Come down to the earth if you're flowing with me. Come up into your cobra and back to recovery. Last leg of this journey, right foot steps between the hands, left knee comes down. We shift the hips back as we straighten the front leg, Ardha Hanuman. And we follow the breath. Inhalations Put a little bit of muscle energy into it. Draw the legs towards each other. Lengthen the torso. And exhalation melts. Keep drawing that right heel back towards you, keeping the hips in line. And then putting a little something into the pose. Both hands walk to the outer edge of that right leg. And we walk the hands away from us as we dive diagonally across. Come back to center, bend through that right knee, and then step back, drop the knees down, child's pose, knees together, feet together, knees apart, and let that head rest on something. Let everything soften here. Feeling the blood, feeling the life, the energy course through the body. After it's been moved and opened up, reactivated, we come back home and we check in. We're going to come into frog pose here. So if you need any props nearby to catch you as you fall down towards the earth, as you hinge forward, coming to hands and knees, walking the knees out to the sides, and the feet will be pointing, the toes will be also pointing out to the sides. So if you are widthwise on your mat like me, your shins will be parallel to the short edges of the mat as you walk those knees out. You may need some extra cushioning underneath those knees depending what kind of floor you have. And so you can always fold your mat or put a blanket, folded blankets or towels under there as well. Once you get to as far as those knees will come from each other, you could stay here with the hands under the shoulders and you just come to a neutral spine. You kind of play around with your positioning. Usually the hips should be in line with the knees, not too far back, not too far forward. If you can go a little further, you can come down onto elbows. You could always even come further, resting the head on hands. You could reach those arms out in front of you, finding the floor with your forehead. Or the last stage would be bringing the arms out behind you, palms flat on the ground, so that you're resting on your chin. Wherever you are, breathe to that inner line of the legs. Where can you release? Especially on the exhale, where can you find center? And what can you activate on the inhalation? And then slowly press yourself back up, reintroduce those knees to each other. Come into a rabbit pose here. So knees together, feet together, we curl up into a little ball. If you want to take it further, you can take the hands on the heels behind you and then roll onto the top of the head, lifting those hips up. Getting a nice stretch through the back of the shoulders as well. And then slowly release. We're going to be making our way to the backs again, but make sure you have your strap or belt or whatever it might be close by. We're going to do one more thing before we come all the way to the back. Legs bent out in front of us. Arms reaching out front, kind of like a ballerina's arms. You want the shoulders to be down the spine. You want the elbows to be bent slightly like you're holding a big beach ball. And then we're going to be doing some subtle focusing on that core again. As we inhale, as we exhale, we're going to draw the belly button in and start to lean back a little. As we inhale, we draw everything back to the center, lifting through the heart. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Beautiful. Find flow through this. See if you can access all the muscles around the spine, articulating here, rolling off the sit bones and then back onto them. Maybe coming a little further. Beautiful. 2 more. Nice. Now, in this upright position, lean back slightly as far as you can without losing it in the abdomen. And we're going to pull that left arm back and come back forward like you're drawing a bow. Pull that right arm back and forward. Let's go for 8 more. Doing some twists here. Activating the arm and the shoulder, staying integrated. Beautiful. 2 more. Nice. Come all the way up. And then slowly release yourself down onto the earth. Reset here, knees together, feet apart. Before we come into our last sequence of poses for the legs. Reset and recalibrate. Check in. Walk the feet back towards each other, knees and feet hip distance apart. We're going to take that belt or strap or tie or tea towel and hook it along the ball of that right foot. Stretch that right leg up to the sky, bring it away from you a little bit, and then cinch up on the belt as much as you need to for support, but also keep those shoulders back and elbows relaxed. So this may be where you stay. You may start to bring that leg in a little bit more towards you, but not sacrificing that evenness through the pelvis right now. And then maybe that left leg can stretch out on your mat. And just hold here, letting that femur bone, that entire leg feel supported and heavy, like it's drilling down towards the earth, nestling into that hip socket. And now, either with the knee bent or straight, we're going to take both ends of the belt into that right hand and start to open that right leg to the right, taking it out to the side. Now I have the benefit of a wall beside me. I'm going to press my foot into the wall. It'll give me extra support, but it'll also give me a nice extra stretch. But you could also still be just pressing into your belt, or you could be making it a little more passive with the knee bent and just supporting that knee as it melts down towards the earth, trying to keep that left hip on the earth. And then leg comes back up to the center. We take that belt in the left hand and start to draw it across the body. So the right hip comes up and over the left as we twist. Right shoulder stays on the earth, gaze stays up to the sky. And again, that knee can be bent or continue pressing into the belt. Keep trying to lengthen that right hip away from your head, lengthening through the right side body. And then all the way back up to center. One more stretch here, drawing that leg a little closer towards you. And then release that right leg all the way down. Check in, get excited for the left one. Bend both knees, bring that left ball of the foot into the belt. Reach that leg up to the sky. Bring the leg away from you. Let the pelvis settle. And then maybe the left leg comes closer. Maybe the right leg stretches out along the mat. Keep drawing that leg down into the body, reintegrating it, letting the muscles find their natural length in this position. Beautiful. Take both ends of the belt into the left hand and start to open that leg to the left with straight or bent knee. And keep that right hip on the earth. Keep pressing out through the heel, or you can have that knee bent as it comes down towards the earth. Inhale all the way back up to center. Take both ends of the belt in the right hand. Cross that left leg across to the right. Lengthening through that left waist. Drawing that left hip down towards the foot end of your mat. Keeping the left shoulder on the earth. And then come back up to center. One more stretch here, drawing that leg a little closer towards you. And then release it all the way down. Marvel in the length of both legs here. And check in with yourself. Do you need another pose? Do you need anything in your body? You may choose to do a bridge or another hug, a happy baby, or perhaps you're feeling good right here to move into Shavasana. Pick the shape of Shavasana that best suits you in this moment. Close your eyes and come back home. Just as we noticed at the beginning of class, in what ways does your body feel like home? What sensations do we take for granted, the familiar ones, the ones that make you feel comfortable, alive in your body? Tune in to the sensations, to the breath, the familiar rise and fall of the ribs and abdomen as you breathe. Even those familiar spots that seem to always speak more prominently. Stay here in your body for as long as you can, as long as it calls you. Make sure you thank yourself before leaving today. And I thank you so much for practicing with me. May the end of your 2020 be full of hope, full of warm feelings, full of acknowledgement of how far you've come. Thank you.